Ladies and gentlemen, today it is Sunday, May 31st, 2026. According to the Jewish calendar, the year is 5786. Today we will go deep into Syria in 2026 and examine exactly how South Korea can work together with the Alawites on the Syrian coast to counter North Korean presence within the Middle East. Opening, and we can begin. Before we get to today's subject, I would like to show you a headline that was recently published in Israel. Israel warns Syria that any military cooperation with North Korea will be a red line. This raises an important question. How did North Korea become active in the Middle East to begin with in the first place? To answer that, we must go back to the 1960s. Unlike South Korea, North Korea actively sought relationships throughout the Middle East. Over the decades, it developed close ties with governments and movements which are hostile to Israel, including Egypt under Gamal Abdel Nasser, Syria under the Assad family, Iran after the 1979 Islamic Revolution, Libya under Muammar Gaddafi, and Iraq under Saddam Hussein. North Korea also developed connections with armed groups and terror organizations across the Middle East. Why? The answer is quite simple, really. The answer is money. For decades, the military cooperation, training, and weapon sales brought North Korea millions of dollars of income per year. Now today the Middle East looks very different. The Assad regime had fallen. Iranian-backed organizations suffer, even today, heavy blows by Israel. But don't assume that North Korea just disappeared from the region. As I said, if North Korea loses one partner, it will look for another. Like when it lost Iraq, Iran became their primary client. This brings us to Syria's western coastline. When we look at the map of Syria, we see a narrow strip of land stretching along the Mediterranean Sea from the Turkish border to the north and to Lebanon in the south. But who lives there? In much of the coastal mountain region of western Syria, particularly in the provinces of Latakia and Tartus, the Alawites are the clear majority of the local population. For many generations, those mountains had been considered the historical heartland of the Alawites. But why does it matter? Because for the Alawites, the arrival of weapons to terror organizations is not a political issue. They understand that any advanced weapon, including chemical weapons which were used under the Assad regime, reaching terrorist organizations could eventually be used against them. And it became clearer after the Alawite massacre. I talked about it in the latest video. For South Korea, this issue should not be viewed through ideology itself. It should be viewed through strategic interests. Every route that can be used for North Korean military export is a route that should be monitored very carefully. South Korea and Israel is of course very concerned about the regional chaos in Syria. Both countries should pay closer attention to the development along the Syrian coast and throughout the Levant. Because if it will work, we can also reach the area of Somaliland in order to deter the Chinese presence along the Red Sea in Eritrea, Sudan, or Somalia. My dear viewers, this is the time to be active according to our own interest and monitor North Korean activity in Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, and to dismantle one of the strongest allies of the Iranian regime. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you for opening your mind to learn about the Middle East. In the next video, we will see why the Middle East will never be a democracy. Thank you very much.